Hi everyone and welcome back. For today's video I thought we would do a little flip through of my hobonichi weeks for the month of December. If you are new to my channel, I am using this notebook as a hobby/media journal. So it's where I'm tracking what I'm reading, watching, any of the hobbies that I'm currently doing, and it's been really fun. I've actually really enjoyed it. It's kind of taken the pressure off of this book because I do also have my main journal, which is my hobonichi cousin. And so this journal has kind of just become my fun side journal, if you will. Kind of just hop into it, not worrying about how my writing looks, doing fun little collages. If I mess up somewhere, it's not that big of a deal. I'm experimenting with different pens and things like that. So I'm really enjoying it. It's very low-key, calm, and fun for me. So I thought we would start, push this back a little bit. I thought we would start with the months and just how I decorated. It's nothing crazy. I did do the Inkvent, the Diamine Inkvent calendar for the month of December, and a lot of them did bleed through. So my goal with January was just to try and cover up a lot of the bleeding. I have noticed with the hobonichi week that there is a lot of bleeding happening and like fraying, I think is what it's called. It's not happening as much in my cousin. It's definitely happening way more in the weeks, which is interesting. But aside from that, I thought this was fun, cute, used up some sticker sheets I've had for a while. Just try to keep it simple. And I'm using the months to track basically just like release dates for movies. Oh, that's my dog and her squeaky toy. Sorry. The animals are very hyper this morning. Muffin, sit please. So yeah, basically just tracking movie releases. This was Ethel Cain's new album came out, books, things like that. There wasn't like any major books coming out this month that I was interested in, but next month there is one. So I'm kind of just going through and trying to keep track. Also, and video games. So I think this is where we left off last time. I did a quick little flip through in this journal. Love this page. I still think this is one of my favorites. It just turned out so good. So I think this is where we left off. So this should be the first new week, I believe. And this was Evermore's by Taylor Swift. It was its birthday this week, so I dedicated this page to it. It's one of my favorite albums. I loved it. And it was one of the first weeks of December. Just felt like one of the Evermore songs is like, Evermore is a very holiday album to me, so it just needed a page here. So it's a dedicated page. I think it turned out perfect. I love the colors and the vibe. I also included some crochet pictures because I started back up with crocheting this week. And I've actually kept up with it, which I'm very proud of myself. But these were just some projects that I had saved in like my Pinterest board, and I liked how they looked and they matched the vibe. And a lot of these pictures I just get from Pinterest, so like this one, and this one, Pinterest. This is an old book that I had. And what I'm doing is, as we go through the week, I'm just writing down literally what I'm doing hobby-wise that day. So like we started watching Love Island UK, the book that I was reading, still books that I'm reading, finished, rated it, new game I started playing, and I started highlighting each one just so as I flip through I can see like, oh, very quickly, this is when I was reading Wildwood, or this is when I started playing Infinity Nikki, things like that. And it just keeps it easy to track as I am quickly flipping through. This is when my obsession with Infinity Nikki became strong. I used to play this game. It was a mobile game for the longest time, and I played it throughout high school. I was obsessed with it. And so when I found out that they were making like a game, like a console game out of it, I lost my mind because I love Nikki, which was a mobile game. And so I got super excited, and just like I expected, I absolutely fell in love with this game and have been playing it nonstop, like literally nonstop. And it's just a really girly pop game. I love it so much, and so it had to have its own spread because, as you can see, Infinity Nikki, Infinity Nikki, Infinity Nikki, Infinity Nikki, Infinity Nikki, and more Infinity Nikki. I think I played it every single day this week. So yeah, and that obsession continues, but this is the only page completely dedicated to it. And I just went really girly with it. Just did like cozy, nostalgic, because that's what this game, the vibe that this game gives me. Next is, so this actually wasn't the week that I watched Nosferatu. I watched Nosferatu in theaters on this Monday, but this was the week that New Year's was on, and I knew I was wanting to do like a favorites of 2024, and it was the Monday, so we just pushed it back and did it on this page because nothing exciting really happened this week with my hobbies. So that's kind of like, you know, I'm not like strictly, it's not strict. This is a very loose journal. I'm not freaking out about it. So Nosferatu obviously had to have its own entire page. It honestly deserves an entire book. 10 out of 10 movie. I absolutely adored it. So I just took some pictures that I enjoy. This was one of my favorite scenes in the movie. I said me when she crawled across the floor. You know, you know. This was a picture I found on Instagram. I don't know the artist. I should have written it down. I'm so sorry, but it's absolutely stunning. I found this on Tumblr, and then I think I found this on Twitter. Girls when they think about Nosferatu. So yeah, absolutely adore. We have more Infinity Nikki, Christmas, more Infinity Nikki, and I started reading Uranium Girls, and we watched Bride of Frankenstein. And then we get to my year wrap up. So I did 2 of my favorite movies, which is Lisa Frankenstein and Nosferatu. My favorite book. This was not a very good year of books for me. It was just a lot of like okay books, like nothing that absolutely blew my mind. And this is the only book looking back that I like remember freaking out about when I was reading it. And I also didn't read as many books as I read like 90 books in 2024. So I read a shit ton of books, but I didn't read as many as I wanted. I think my goal was 100. And by the end of the year, I could not get myself to read. I wasn't into anything. And so for the new year, I actually have started picking up nonfiction, and I'm flying through them. Who would have thunk that an autistic girly would like nonfiction books? Not me, but you know, I am flying through it. Makes sense. Yeah, so Starling House, amazing book. Was my top of the year. Amazing vibes. And then my top albums, of course, TTBD, and then Charmed by Clara, which was a surprise for me, but I freaking love this album. And then yeah, over here yet again, just going through my reading. And what I'm doing is every time I finish a book, I'm rating it just on the day that I finish it, if I remember. If I don't remember to do it, it's okay. It's not that big of a deal. And then I think, yeah, so this is the last one that we're going to look at. And this is actually January. I know we're only doing December, but it's okay. I'll show you a little bit of January. This is from last week. This is my most recent. And as you can see, I switched up my pens, and there's lots of smearing happening and messing up with my highlighter. But it's okay. This is my hobby journal. This is my fun journal. It's okay if there's mess ups. We're not going to freak out. And actually what happened, I said new ink because the last one sucked. This one was just fraying a lot and like not drying. It was awful. I hated it. So I switched out my ink. We went to this blue one that's like purpley it has like a sheen. And it's pretty cool. I think I like it. It is a little smeary as well though. So don't know for sure how long I'll keep it in my fountain pen, but enjoying it so far. This is the week where I didn't really highlight a lot on here. Just realizing I need to go back and do that. It's like reading. See, and this is why I like the highlighting, because as I'm flipping through, I can very clearly see like, oh, I did that. And now I'm having to like be like, So like I started reading The House Where Death Lives. I started another journal. So I now have 4, and I only meant to have 2. But it's okay. It's fine. So I'm playing Infinity Nikki. Unfortunately, Ethel Cain's new album was too scary for me. I have bad anxiety, and the droning of the music, my heart rate went phew. And I quickly realized that I could not handle the album. And that's okay. That's fine. Doesn't mean I'm not a fan of hers anymore. I absolutely love Ethel Cain. I just have some mental issues. So, not for me. Oh, I started crochet blanket. Still working on that. I'm going to be working on that probably all year. But it's fine. I'm loving it. And then, main thing, we watched Stoker on Sunday. New favorite movie. Absolutely obsessed. If you haven't watched it, please, for the love of God, watch it. I'm like, I don't even have words. Like, I loved it so much. I think it's going to become my whole new personality. So, it needed a whole page. It was just perfection. And just the shots, like, it was so beautifully shot. I just loved it so much. That's another reason why I'm loving this journal so much, because I'm able to hyperfixate on little things and, like, almost get my hyperfixation out, if that makes sense. So, like, I watched this movie and I was just so obsessed with it, and I was like, I gotta do something. Like, I gotta put it somewhere. I need to, like, mark in my life when I watched this and how I felt about it. And so being able to, like, dedicate a whole page to it, it makes my brain feel good. And it's just, I'm really excited when this is finished to be able to flip through and, like, see, like, oh, that's when we watched Stoker, and that's when we watched Notes for Ratu, and that's when I got into Infinity Nikki, blah, 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 blah. So it's been really fun. I'm really enjoying it. And yeah, I highly recommend. And I did want to show you, so back here, I went over this in my last flip through. I do have some Swedish words. I haven't been keeping up with that too well. Duolingo was stressing me out. The amount of notifications I got a day. I'm like, okay, remind me, but, like, now you feel like an annoying ex that's constantly blowing me up. I need you to calm down. It was funny at first, but then I was getting like 10 notifications a day, and it was just giving me anxiety, and it made me want to avoid it. So, because my autism doesn't like being told what to do. So, and I was getting a notification being like, you need to do this. I was like, no, I'm not. So I haven't really kept up with that. Hopefully I'll pick it back up, but I did do that. We went over that in the last video. Have decided that I want to keep track of my books visually. I don't know if I want to do it with my movies yet, just because I have a feeling I'm going to watch a lot of movies this year, but I do have a ton of pages. I don't know. I haven't decided yet. I can always pop it in later in the year, and it won't be that big of a deal. But this was the first book that I read of the year, and how I'm doing it is I'm printing these out, like, on my computer printer. And so I'm going to wait probably a couple of months until I have, like, a full page of the little book covers, so that I can print them all out at once and just cut them out and pop them in, instead of, like, wasting a whole paper for a tiny little cover, if that makes sense. And I do have a Canon Ivy that I could use, but I kind of hate it. It, like, puts a blue tint on everything, and I don't like how thick the paper is. It's like photo paper, if that makes sense. Oh, I have ink all over my fingers. When did that... Well, anyways. So yeah, I don't like how thick the Canon Ivy paper is, and this is literally so thin. It's just sticker paper that I got from Amazon that I can print out, and so it doesn't leave like a huge bulk or anything like that. So yeah, that's the plan. Definitely will be doing it with my books. I don't know for sure if I'll be doing it with movies, but you all will obviously be kept up to date. And yeah, I think that is about it. Oh, here's my little tester. Every time I get a new ink or put a new ink in, I've been testing it back here or in my cousin. But yeah, I do believe that is it. I'm absolutely loving this journal. I can't wait to keep using it. Ooh, this ink is... Oh, Why? Why are you doing that? Y'all, I'm so new to fountain pens and ink. This is one that has like heavy sheen. Is that just a thing that happens? Like, is this like ink just not the best? Is this, like, why is this happening? You can see, like, it's like not dry, and this was written 3 days ago. And it's getting everywhere. That is so weird. Yeah, if you have any tips, let a girly know, because I have no clue what I'm doing. But yeah, okay. Sorry, I went off on a little tangent, because I was like, where did the ink come from? But I think that's it. Let me stop my rambling. If you have any questions, please feel free to leave them down below. And I'm planning on doing a flip through, I think, probably every month, just to see, maybe every 2 months, probably every month, because I just love it so much. But yeah, okay, I think that's all. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them down below, and thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a wonderful day, week, and month, and I'll see you next time. Bye!